Hello, how's everybody doing? I just got back. I had to get get from my friends here. They've done so much. I mean, they let me do my channel and everything, and they don't give me any problems. It's really a lot to do. I mean, if you have someone the channel, because if you have someone who is kind of uneasy about the channel, or they don't really, it's because it's a lot of work and you're always talking about it and you're always doing something. And if you don't have that kind of support, it's really hard to do a YouTube channel. And if I move from here, I really have to think about, that situation. Um, so I got them to give. They're just really beautiful people. The people that I have lived with or room with. Anyway, so this is what happened today. First of all, I want to thank this comment. I don't want to say the name, but she has really helped me out. And this year, I've really learned a lot. The major thing I've learned was that the Jehovah Witnesses are, and the ex-Jehovah Witnesses always told me that, because I never realized, actually, because we help each other, I never realized that these people are, I know that I was brainwashed and, affected by it mentally, but I never realized that was people, even my family, especially my family, and I mentioned it before, that are, how can you say, it's being led astray. I mean, I always thought it was kind of their fault. I mean, it was kind of sad that I thought that way. But I always thought that way because of my family, and I thought it was because of them. And me and my brother, sometimes, he always says something, like negative, but he really, he never follows through. Like, for instance, he goes out just some really rough words for my sister and everything, our sister, but he still is a very nice person with them, because like, I didn't even want to go to my mother's funeral because of the way things happened. I was kind of going to go. He's the one that helped me to almost go, but after all the stuff he says, he definitely goes to the funerals, and one was online, so he's a really beautiful person. He has helped me out a lot. I'm glad that we kept in contact, although we didn't have to. So anyway, so what I'm saying is, I didn't really realize 100% that they're being led astray. I mean, I know that they're being led astray, but I thought it was partially their fault. But I learned that this year, and especially from one of my comments, the person in one of my comments, even when I gave her the article, she helped me to even see clearer what they were doing. And a lot of people don't realize, when it comes to, this is also her too, they don't really realize about how someone can affect you mentally. It's just, even when you have friends that have, and I've met several, not a whole bunch, but I mean, I've had friends who had mental kind of instabilities, and it's kind of hard to not deal with, but to see them as, somebody else. Like, like, if you have a friend that has, like, something physical wrong with them, you tend to be more compassionate to them than those who have something, are affected mentally. And I'm looking at it more that way, which the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses always appreciated and always showed me that way, but I didn't want to, because I told you, because of what was happening in our family. So today, the reason why I'm doing this, I wasn't going to do it yet because I wanted to make sure everything was solid, like I said yesterday. But I wanted to do this one because, one second. because I was like, I'm sorry, I was at the shopping center because I had to go buy a gift, like I said, and there was Jehovah's Witnesses there, and they had two cards, and I'm always praying, especially with things like this. And I approached them because I wanted to see one of their magazines. I said, "Oh, maybe I can get a magazine." And I didn't want to read the magazines and stuff like that, like online and stuff, but it's definitely important so that we know what's going on. And you could be more specific about what you're doing. Um, and I stopped and the guy, it was three people. There was two big, I mean, like two like carts, not carts. You know how they have the carts, but they're in like these in these compartments. I guess it's carts or whatever. But there's one here. It looks really nice, and then they had another one which was even nicer. And I said, "What is this?" And the reason why I know God was with me because I wanted to lie, but I didn't because I guess I was like hoping that I said the right thing. And that's why I know that God was with me because I wanted to lie and get one of the magazines, but it didn't happen that way. So anyway, he jumped over. It was an older guy. And he jumped over. And this, because of this experience, I could tell 100%. There's certain things I know because it's my area of expertise, okay? I'm not, very, like, okay, I'm going to use this term, but in the normal sense, I'm not very worldly. Like, it has nothing to do with Jehovah's Witness sense, especially since I'm trying to get out of it. I'm not very worldly. I'm not very sharp as far as like fooling people and stuff like that because I never do, really don't. So he jumped over, okay, and he was very nice, and he was like, "Oh, do you know about this? Do you know about this?" Which led me to realize, which is true also, is they don't know what we're saying about the general type of Jehovah's Witness they don't know about, like all the negative things that people are talking about because like in the article, they don't really go on the internet and surf it and try and find out something bad about the Jehovah's Witnesses. They just don't do it. Because I didn't do it either. I didn't do it at all. Not even one time. Okay? And I defended them, and, inside the Jehovah's Witness faith. So I could tell that, first of all. Because he was like, do you know they have things for older people and younger people. And it doesn't make a difference, he goes. He was like really sincere and very nice. And very nice and very genuine. And which showed me too that, like what I see on the YouTubes, which I was into it, now I understand even more, is that these people are really being misled. Okay, I mean a lot, which I really didn't want to say. Okay, so anyway, I wasn't thinking these things. That's after I thought these things over. And so anyway, he said, "Do you want to? Let me give you this." Oh, he said something like something because I was older. He goes, "Oh, do you have any children?" And I go, "No." I told him something like, because I was trying to like not say who I was or anything, And he goes, "Where are you from?" And I go, "Well, it's true." I said, "I am from Atlanta, Georgia," because I did live in Atlanta, Georgia. I didn't want to tell him not where I was from. And I was from Atlanta, Georgia, because I lived in Atlanta, Georgia, so it's not a lie. And he goes, "Really?" He goes, "Do you have any children?" I go, I mean, I kind of like evaded the questions, but I did tell the truth about, did your children have any children? And I go, "No, they never had any children," which I did have children, but that's in the back, I think. So, beating around the bush, I did tell the truth. And did they have any jobs? No, they didn't have any children, because he tried to find out information about me. But he was very genuine. And anyway, he gave me a track. And when he gave me a track, it like, it split. I mean, it like tore. And he says, "I'm sorry." And he gave me another one. And I took it. Still very nice. The other ones didn't phase anything that I was there or anything, because it was his cart and they had another cart. And then when I was walking by, I said, "Well, I have to go because, I have to do something for Christmas." And I turned and I said, "Merry Christmas." And he turned and he goes, "Thank you." So, I mean, but he genuinely said, "Thank you." But I was like, I don't even know if I would have said thank you. I mean, when I was a Jehovah's Witness. But anyway, then I thought, because, oh boy, I mean, this is something else. I almost said the wrong word, but I mean, I'm almost sure that God wanted me to give that experience, but it is very hard for me. I think a lot of other ones are more prepared and they know how to do things, but that's not my expertise to spy or anything, or to do things like that. But it was something that I had to do. And because I needed to see, and I think God wanted me, I'm almost sure he wanted me to see. Because I really leave everything up to him, but sometimes I have to, like for instance, when I read that article, and I didn't want to give the YouTube on it, but he was like, because I pray about everything, and I have to do certain things. Even the YouTube channel, it was hard for me in the beginning to express myself, because I'm scared. I'm like scary all the time. You know what I mean? Like, even I have to do a letter and I got it typed up, but every time something happens, I just like give up. You know what I mean? And even my YouTube channel, it was very hard for me to get this going, because I would do very well and then I would not want to continue. But this time I know that I have to continue, because I'm getting stronger about this subject, and I know it's something that has to be done. So anyway, I got the track, and I'm going to see what's wrong. You know what I mean? And it's kind of, it's just bring back a lot of memories, but it helps people. And I looked at the YouTube that someone else showed me about the person who goes through the literature, step by step. That person's very strong. And I want to get to be more like that. So everybody's helping me here, and I appreciate that. And I just want to show that I want to be more supportive of the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, and not waver. I mean, not somewhat, not that I'm wavering, but kind of, I don't want to be like how can you say like iffy, okay? Because even I told my brother that I was in the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, and he was like, "What?" And I go, yes. I mean, I give things about it, and he couldn't believe it because he knows that I like to be cautious and things like that. Not so much cautious, but like more like just laid back. But that's not happening, and I appreciate because I've helped. Like I said, you all helped me so much. Even the YouTube that I have to go back to. I mean, she gives very powerful information, and I said to myself, "Wow," and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I know I do my music and stuff. It's very important because I've always done music, and I put it together, and I want to continue to build it. Now I'm going to go over this to see what's going on with it. It's a track, and it was an experience that I haven't done before. Last time I did something like this, it was because I was being actually like not aggressive, but kind of mean, okay? Because I was always like upset with the Jehovah Witnesses. But I've learned different from the ex-Jehovah Witnesses is that they are being misled. And that's what I've learned here. And you have to do something about it. And I know some people have told me, just enjoy your life. But it's not something that I don't think it's in our hands. I think it's something that God wants us to do. Because like I said, is when people are affected mentally, we usually just leave them alone. But it's really not the way to go, okay? And if nobody ever did anything, just think how the world would be. I mean, if everybody just did things to enjoy their lives and not did anything, it would be a very sad world. And like I said, I would not have been helped. I really wouldn't have been helped as much as as hard as it was for me to go into the YouTube channel. It's very hard, and I've really been helped. And there's been times when I was going through, ex-Jehovah Witness after ex-Jehovah Witness. I mean, like constantly, just going through the YouTubes. And that's why I know it's very important. I don't think it's our work. I think ironically, it's because the difference thing about this is just that they use God as in the wrong way. They did something wrong to the Bible, and they said that's one thing that I still have to work on. That's my number one thing that I want to work on. I want to get like the YouTube that someone suggested to me, okay? I want to get like her, like she is. And it's really important. It's very important now that I see. So thank you very much. Got something on the eye, and I'm gonna still put the YouTube out that I talked about yesterday. But I had to say that because I just wanted to thank everybody for their encouragement and helping me through this, and continually we stick together. And that's one point I wanted to make, was that yes, it's not really our work, it's God's work. And I was saying, ironically, we're helping people to get out of a system that is really, really not good. So let me go. I have to go now. Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas. It's almost there. Bye.